Hello and good morning, listeners. Welcome back to Almus Market Mornings, your daily dose of global financial updates. I'm your host, Swaraj Rajagopal, and we have got you covered on everything from currency shifts to pivotal central bank decisions and important speeches. Plus, you'll gain expert analysis on macroeconomic data that's shaping the market narrative right now. Join us for this episode and navigate the markets with confidence. Welcome to a very special episode. US elections is a very closely watched event and the counting has begun. Polls have indicated a wide array of outcomes, but let's get right on what's happening on the ground. So, just a quick introduction to the numbers. The magic number is 270 electoral votes out of the total 538. So, essentially, if either of the two parties, the Republicans or the Democrats, reach that 270 mark, there will be certainty on who the president will become in the US. Today we have Mathew, who is the head of research here at Almus and someone who has been closely following the US elections. Good morning, Mathew. Thank you for coming on.
Morning. Good morning. Yeah.
The first question, naturally, is on the status of counting. Some states
Yeah.
have begun counting. So how do you think the things are looking?
So as of now, some of the states, many of the media houses, they declare the state to a candidate based upon the number of votes that they are counting. The process of counting is not complete, but
Mhm.
you know, they because of the trend of counting, they would call the elections for each state. And as of now, it looks like the states which have been traditionally gone to the Republicans and which are supposed to, as expected, should have gone to the Republicans are going to the Republicans. So I think
Mhm.
many of them, like the southern states, Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, and the Florida, all these states Trump has won. But that was
Mhm.
supposed to happen that way. And
Mhm.
Harris has won Illinois, and the areas around New York, Delaware, New Jersey, and all that. So
Mhm.
these
Mhm.
are these are this was what was expected to it. But when the initial media, when it showed initially those Trump leading states, those were shown. So the media was shown like 101 Trump and 31 Harris and all that. It creates some kind of a forex kind of volatility, at least in the forex market, plus the Trump trades, which are basically the trades for the Magnificent Seven US stocks. All
Mhm.
those have started rallying. So it could be because of thin market conditions. More than I think, more of it is thin market conditions. Also, there's a lot of option buildup that has happened, betting on these outcomes.
Right.
So many of the outcomes clearly, as the people, for example, it has been for the last few weeks that it has been the Trump trade. So the option skew was towards Trump. So many people have taken the opposite side of the trade. For example, Australian dollar was something which the RBA was not ready to, cut rates and all that. So it's kind of
Mhm.
a positive yielding currency. So if you are to bet on Harris, then it would be a bet that you can say that Australian dollar will rally, and also Australian dollar is directly related to what is the China. So if Harris comes, she won't be putting those that higher tariffs on China, so that would be China positive. So that is an indirect bet on, in the FX market, an indirect bet on
Who will win?
let's say on China. So that way there has been a lot of skew developed in the option in the markets. I think what exactly people are now projecting is the prediction market has slightly rallied in favor of Trump because they have seen that the number of voters have increased, and rural folk has come to vote more out. So from
Right.
the places where they have declared results, they are trying to project it to the other states which are not yet declared, or let's say, and what are the key states, the swing states. So they're
Mhm.
trying to say now the prediction market from, I think, 60% Trump win, it has moved to 70% Trump win. So they're more confident that Trump is winning. For these are early days, we cannot project it like that. Even
Mhm.
the news agencies are very cautious of projecting it. But as of now, it is the eastern side of the United States. The results are almost done because the lead in each state is so big that they could declare that Harris or Trump is a winner of that state.
Right.
But the western side towards California, Oregon, Washington, all those states, those will come later,
Mhm.
and most of them, other than the swing states, will go with Democrats or Republicans, which traditionally used to be the case. So there is not going to be any change in that. But what happens in Pennsylvania, what happens in North Carolina, all these will decide the outcome of it. As of now, it looks like from the sampling what that these people who have done, these pollsters who are doing it for years, it looks like that tilt is towards Trump. But
Hmm.
you never know. Surprises can come and forex markets can react. Thin trading can swing things. As of now, it looks like the forex markets, the equity markets, even commodities of, I think copper has come down a bit.
Right, right.
The movement of CNY, the movement of CAD, the movement of Audi, all three looks like, and the equity Nasdaq position looks like it's, and also some of the Senate seats are which traditionally I think the Democrats wanted to win from taking away from the Republican. That has not happened in Florida and all. So that
Hmm.
all in kind of tilting towards Trump as of now, but we don't know.
Right.
The
So,
jury's out.
Matthew, you're saying as of now, whatever counting has happened, traditionally, whatever has gone to Democrats has gone to Democrats, and whatever usually goes to
Yeah,
Democrats has
no
gone.
surprises, no
No
surprises
surprise
here.
as of now.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. And this entire counting process. So, of course, one question: the polling is over, right? Polling was yesterday.
yeah.
The
Yeah,
polling is over.
it would close. For example, it will some places it will already close. I think in 1 or 2 hours, almost all of America will be closed, and then the
Hmm.
count and places where it has already places. It is, for example, America is a very big country. It's like
Right.
2 or 3 times India in the horizontal space. So it like
Correct.
in the eastern side, the polling is closed and the counting has also begun. And when they do the counting, even with the 10, 20 samples, 20% of the counting or even 50% of the counting is done, then they will have a clear picture of who is winning. For
Right.
example, in Florida, or sorry, for example, in Mississippi and all, it is just a small segment of the counting that has happened. So, but they were able to, project it. So that way.
Mm-hmm. Got
So
it.
it will take time. And the important point is the counties in the swing states. There it will take time because there will be a lot of and the processes are different because some people use paper ballot, some people use other forms of. So
Right.
the other
Mail-in
early
ballot
voting
and
thing,
everything. Mm.
early voting ballot that need to be counted, and all this will have to be precise. If the margin of winning is big, they can afford to relax and means they need to be that precise on counting. So if in many states, for example, in uh, Illinois, Kamala Harris, I think AP is projecting 58% of the vote share, and Donald Trump only 40 share. So 18%, they don't have to be very precise in counting every. So some people, so that counting process needn't take long. But in this swing states, where they're supposed to be very tight, they will need to be very careful. So they will go slow. So the results needn't come like we all expect the president to be declared by in the next 4 or 5 hours. That may not happen. It may
Right.
take maybe if it is a very tight process in 2 3 states, it may take even 2 3 days. And even further,
Mhm.
of course, if for example, what happens if tie happens, so 269, 269, that can
Right.
also happen. So in that case, then there will be then if it's a close race, then the candidates can approach the courts for a recount for this thing. They will say that that has been influenced or the returning officer has been partial to the candidate against the candidate and all that. So a lot of permutation combination can happen.
Right. 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 And this entire process. So as you said, for swing states, especially the electorals, they need to be careful because it can go either way, and if they go for the legal option again, it can be
Yeah,
dragged out,
yeah,
right? Like.
and one more thing is now, as of now, the latest AP, according to AP, the things can tilt. Maybe there is some reaction also in the FX market as we speak. In the last 10 minutes, what has happened is I think Pennsylvania is reporting 13% 13% of counting. I think
Hmm.
Kamala Harris is leading by 67%. That is a big. If Kamala Harris can win Pennsylvania, I think that tilts the scale to her, towards her.
Right.
So that
And
is big. So
polling had
so I think
indicated,
what.
like the initial exit polls, were they indicating Pennsylvania to
Then
be?
no, no, no. Pennsylvania, which was a close race, no, the exit. See what happens in the exit polls and all. They don't have that exit poll thing that India. Exit poll
Mhm.
thing is here. What happens is it can the result itself will come out very, very, very fast. They don't have to
Correct.
wait for an exit poll. In India, we have an exit poll. Then the result comes after 2 3 days because the ballot boxes have to be brought together and all that. Here, the
Right.
counties itself, I think they count. So
Okay.
you don't have
Okay.
to bring the all the thing to a center and then count. वो process नहीं है.
Okay. Okay,
So there is a
understood.
time. There is no time gap between. So if the process, only thing is that the counting in many places, if it is a very tight race, then it has to be. Some people may. I think it was 20. I heard news that they may be ticking or putting a C, which can be in both places. Whether this is a invalid vote or a valid vote, they will keep debating and all that. So all that process
Mm-hmm.
can consume time that way.
Right, right. Understood. Matthew, one more thing you had mentioned in your earlier segment that we are seeing some dollar strength, but it may be because of some illiquidity. So there is, as of now, you don't think there is a Trump trade being priced in just general market
And
uncertainty, is
see,
it?
priced in the sense that it was priced in, and a lot of rally has happened because of Trump. Trump has been leading in the way that the predict and the betting markets that were putting that keep putting Trump in in the saddle. But
Hmm.
what happens is that then there is a lot of skew developing in one side of the trade. So people who would prefer option will do the other side. So
Right.
perhaps that would be scale back or that. So we will never know what exactly happened, and there are no volumes to indicate what exactly. Only thing options are clearly indicating that at this time, or like sixth or seventh and all, there will be a burst of volatilities because of a lot of options. People are hedging or people are betting
Right.
with regard to a certain outcome. So
Right.
they
Right.
may be it may be straddles. They are not there. They would be neutral if Trump or Harris come. They would be like buying Audi dollar straddles. That is a very good trade. For example, the volatility was low. Audi, if you look at it within a tight range in the last few months.
Mm-hmm.
So 6.65 and 0.67. So in between that, and if that happens, then the cost of option would not be that much. So they would have brought straddles, strangles, and that kind of strategy where sudden burst of volatility would they will profit from it. So those possibilities are there. So that could create, and when one side of it is moving, then they would rehedge and dehedge, and a lot of algo stuff works. As of now,
Right.
it looks like Trump. Initially, it was like a Trump trade getting all the glory, but now a bit of cutback is happening. Like,
Hmm. Hmm. Right.
well,
And if let's say we are seeing more evidence that the Democrats are doing well, do you expect
no, we
any?
don't have any evidence as of now. It doesn't
Yeah,
look
as
like
of now, no. But in
as of now.
future, if we get some evidence,
Pennsylvania is showing a trend which is now again 14% vote counted. I think Harris is just around that
66%.
67%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so that way.
Right, right, right. Got it, got it. Okay, Matthew, that's it from me. Thank you so much for coming on, and
Yeah.
of course, we'll keep
Okay.
tracking these election developments and keep you all updated. Thanks for listening.